Hello and welcome back to Fatal 12. On the last episode, we switched perspectives at the very end. Spoilers, I guess, if you haven't watched that one. Don't know why you'd be here if you hadn't, though. I believe we've taken over the name that we got on the card. I believe it was Federico, who seems to be part of some form of mafia. And they're talking to someone, obviously, naturally named Odette. So, time to find out what the story of these two is. Space Cadet, do you copy? Charming individual is Odette Malencon. Much like me, she's a participant in the Divine Selections. Okay, so not the only. I want to say Rika, but I keep forgetting the main character's name. Well, who I thought was the main character's name, because there was Miharu and basically the main character. Those two are pairing up, and apparently these two are pairing up. There's only someone apparently named Bill who's not, who immediately betrayed who they knew. Under normal circumstances, we should be aiming to eliminate each other, but we've agreed to help one another out for the time being. Well, I guess it's more accurate to say that she's forced me into a truce. Yes, this is us, Federico. Nothing much, thinking about something. How about you focus on the grub instead? And about that good Chinese cooking go to waste. Capricorno. We use Capricorno as my code name when we're speaking. It's based on my zodiac sign. Okay, so you're a Capricorn, got it. In turn, Virgi would be Virgo, I'm assuming, is how I refer to her. My only issue is that pronouncing French words, so it's like Virge, maybe? It's tricky with an Italian like myself. Anyway, I'm the one that suggested using code names. I did that mainly because our names are valuable info when it comes to eliminating others in the Divine Selection. It's fair enough, really. Neither of us are supposed to know each other's real name. Knowing her, she probably used some connections to pull my name out of the lake. But she won't tell me that straight up. So we know her name, she knows our name. Obviously I know her real name as well, but I haven't told her. Keeping that stuff to ourselves is the reason our current relationship works in the first place. Gotta admit, I couldn't be happier that we're in Beijing. You ain't gonna find better Chinese grub anywhere. They served the stuff to the old emperors in the Qing dynasty, so even the sauces are perfect. What's more, it's loaded with calories to combat the cold climate here. For a gal who lives on the sea, the perfect blend of taste and calories is what I need. So you live on the sea? Okay, well, I mean technically everyone lives on the sea, we're all on islands. In fact, I'd argue that this Peking duck right here is probably the greatest thing I've ever come out of China. That's never tasted this good. The way it's made is just as horrible as what they do to the geese while making foie gras. But it doesn't change the fact that it's delicious. At least the ducks can do is hope they ain't as tasty in their next life. She shovels more and more food into her mouth the second she quits yapping. This is the third plate of Peking duck, by the way. She has plenty of gyoza and steamed buns in between too. Okay, she has an appetite. Hard to believe that someone from France would order food like this, considering how particular they are about their full-course meals. Just watching her pig out makes my stomach ache. Yeah, I would imagine that would be for anyone. If anyone could, just store away food, the physics behind it would just be a pain. Anyway, what I'm getting at here is that while French food's still the best, I ain't got no issue with letting Chinese food play second fiddle. Okay, cool. Now just wait a sec. I don't mind what's second and beyond, but I'm not gonna let you imply that Italian food is anything but the best. Okay. So in Japan there are two high school girls one's trying to communicate with the other one's avoiding the first. While in Beijing there's an Italian person and a French person arguing about food. Is whoever Bill is are they the only person taking this game at face value? Though to be fair, Bill doesn't have allies, these two are making allies. And the first pair already were allies, so I guess while Bill has the highest quote-unquote kill count, I guess, or elimination count, he has the least allies. Fine. Let's go find us a well-built Chinese person. If whoever wins a fight in between us three can say their country's the best food. I mean, I think I understand that logic, since the food would be the fuel for the muscles and the body. Okay, fine, you win. Well, you don't, but let's change the topics before things escalate. Thank you, Federico. She really would hunt for someone too. Only problem is that it doesn't matter what kind of tank she recruits. She'll still beat both of us senseless. So she's strong. Okay, many people who can take her in a fist fight, men included. She's the head of a group teaming with tough seamen for a reason. So she's a sailor or an army person. How did you die then? Was it? I doubt it. Well, what, sinking ship and drowning or explosion? How about it, Federico? Time for booze. The Shaolin Ju? I don't know. Pretty great. It tastes like dissolved candy. Well, if she revealed she knows our name, give me a break. Oh, just like that, she baited me into saying her real name. I don't know what you were thinking about earlier, but how's about we quit wasting each other's time with this whole charade? So I want to say she plays dumb, but I don't think she's playing dumb. She's naturally carefree because she's got everything under control. What's that supposed to mean? That you know each other's names? I already know the answer, but I ask anyway. She shows more of that before showing me a big, toothy smile. I wonder, it's pretty obvious that everyone's first move in the final mission is gather a selection game or whatever is going to be to get a death grip over the other participants' names. I mean, I suppose that's true. You wanted code names, but hey, it ain't gonna stop anyone from finding out our real names. I mean, yeah, she's kind of thoroughly proven that point. Cause of death too. We all died at the same time, so all it'll take is a bit of digging to find out how everyone kicked the bucket, especially when it involves people like us. I mean, it's true. If you've already got the same date. So as long as you find out possible events on that. Well, actually, no, we tried, didn't we? We tried to find specifically about the train exploding. But yeah. But we do have a date, though. We do know everyone's date. You catch my drift, right? Okay, yeah, she has a point, though. She has thoroughly proven it. I would honestly prefer the conversation about food, because she's demonstrated not only her physical strength, but her mental strength as well. Yeah, no need to treat me like an idiot. I'm aware the information warfare is the name of the game here. Gotta find out who others regret too. The fact that you wanted to use codenames in spite of that proves you're just a small fry. You should forget all about your real name. Everyone's regret card was handed out to other participants at random, right? That means one of them knows yours and one knows mine. Oh yeah, but there ain't no way someone's gonna look out and get all three pieces of info on either of us when they're handed out at random. I mean, the chances are low, but they're not impossible. I mean, for example, Bill elected someone immediately. No one elected either of us during the first round, which serves as proof. Doesn't seem like that Indian guy has our cards either. If he did, then he would have gone straight for us, since he knows it's best to take out the toughest competition first. What would you have done if someone just happened to get all your cards when they were first distributed? Nothing much. I just die knowing I lost my bet and curse my fate. About it. Yeah. Odette seems cool. Good thing I really can't stand this woman sometimes. I don't understand what the issue is. I mean, it showed that she's smart, she's strong, and well, I want to say carefree, but she obviously wants to win still. She's a strong ally to have at the start, and dangerous enemy to have at the end. Makes you think that she's got all of it planned out, but she leaves the most critical bits out to luck. I mean, what can you do, really? The caution and rational actions end up getting thrown out the window when she goes wild with no discernible reason. I mean, okay, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I like this pair more than the first pair to begin with, because these two are actually talking about the game in well, not necessarily cooperating. It is a truce, though. Honestly, don't know what goes on in her head. This is the first time I've come across a woman who doesn't just do whatever a man tells them to do. Interesting. Probably problematic. The worst part of it all, though. Well, either way, we're working together. Just till it's just the two of us. If you end up for it, then let me smack you around. So she beat you up. That's what she does that's what she does to resolve anything. She resorts to violence. Well, you just gotta be faster than her. It sounds impossible considering, I mean, she looks like she's built to destroy. I can't call her a nasty name out loud, so I'll just insult her to myself. I don't understand why you would want to insult her, though. Moving on, is there a reason we're in China when we need to be in Japan for the final day of the divine selection? Ain't it obvious? Much as I love Peking duck, I've never been able to eat it right here in Beijing before. Well, here's the thing, right? So what, you must have met in Italy then, right? Because Odette says she was overseas. Obviously, we know Federico is from the mafia, so it could have been that you just ran into each other in Italy, and it was Odette's idea to go, instead of going to Japan, let's go to Beijing. You see, right? Cool. We've got some homework to do out here as well. Fair enough. See? Ah. Right before our ship got attacked. Again, I caught the wind of a top brass executive for Chinese food company collapsing during a meeting. Is that how you died? As you might have guessed, Odette's the representative of a certain shipping company. Of course, we're talking about this woman, so in a way, it's a plain old shipping company. What, black market maybe? Doesn't matter if it involves drugs or even dead bodies. They'll take any job they're paid to do. In that regard, you can call them smugglers. Okay, so is that how you two know each other? Their existence is kept in the dark, though. Likely because certain governments aren't shy about making use of them. Fair enough. It's a business, after all. Well, not the quite accurate to say that they'll take any job, considering Odette makes it a point to turn down anything she considers boring. Certain circumstances led me to hitching a ride on her boat, which is how we ended up cooperating in the first place. So yeah, so you were in Italy. Okay. I went to look up more info on it after we were brought back, but turns out there weren't any records on the incident at all. Hold on, doesn't that mean I can't even take a bite out of my food in front of my mouth when she says that. She, on the other hand, grabs a bottle of drink and downs what's left in it. I've got to keep tabs on this sort of stuff, this sort of info, thanks to my line of work, so I ain't got to forget something about it like that easily. His name is Rochambeau. I dug deeper after that. Here's the kicker. He seems to be alive and well. So whoever Ro is, what, did they betray you, or are they part of the game? What? The moment she mentions his name, the book in the book beside her emits a strange light. It's a big, thick, auburn-coloured book with a golden leaf decoration. It's the book we've had. There ain't no pages in it. Just a big hole in the middle when you open it up. I got the exact same book, some kind of card storing book used for the divine selection. Now we're talking. So basically, if you say the name, you get a card. You say cause of death. The dull light focuses on a single point once she opens the book. It gradually fades, and in its place is a rectangular piece of paper that catches it, hovering in midair. Bingo! Looks like our friend Ro is number 11. Number 12. 7. I'm stupid. So it's the one next to the girl who already got eliminated. Damn, that was easy. A girl who was going on about being a goddess mentioned that the cause of all of our deaths had been undone. The fact that Odette was able to notice such a paradox proves that this girl wasn't lying. Now we got to play the guessing game. He was a fatso, so he might have had diabetes, which means he could have died from low blood sugar. Then again, I can't see a bigwig like him not taking proper precautions. So if something killed him unexpectedly, it'd be more likely to have been a stroke or heart attack, or poison if he liked food. No love from the carbs, huh? She calls it a guessing game, but clearly isn't taking a stab in the dark. Does the fact that a card doesn't appear mean she's not got a right track? It's because she doesn't know it for a fact, I think. Maybe maybe it's some kind of condition that causes the card to appear. How come Ro's name card never appeared before now, even though I'd learned about it earlier? Hell if I know. Guess you gotta think a little bit harder. Well, because you didn't say a full name out loud. Because think about it. We know about it, and we don't have the card. Wait. If we check the cards now, do we have a different set? Open card book. Nope, we don't. Okay, so eliminated lady is number 6, right? Number 1 is Rinka. That's who it was. Federico is our name, which is unfortunate. Cause of death. For number 4 is fire. Number 9 was not getting a gold medal. Okay. I forget her name. Oh yeah, Miharu. Miharu has our name. We have our own name. We already have Ro's name. And we have Odette's name. Okay, number 6. I had no cards. Our name, Ro's name, and Odette's name. And no idea. Okay then. Happy you helped me out here. Wait a minute. I thought of a few of the possibilities just now, but I wasn't sure whether they were right or not. You sure loved talking to yourself. I mean, Cheetah has taken control of the conversation quite a bit. My attempt to tease her falls on deaf ears. The grin that spreads across her face soon bursts into full confidence. Between a stroke and a heart attack, I bet that he suffered the former. Wouldn't be surprising if his diabetes caused him to have one out of the blue during his meeting. How's that sound? She directs her question towards the book, as if it would nod back. Amazingly enough, it does respond. It reacts the same way as when she obtained Ro's card name. Number 7's cause of death was a stroke. Things went... Okay. So it was a meeting in Japan. Okay. Things went well this time, but it seems one of the rules is that you gotta believe your answer to make the card appear. Couldn't expect results from blind guessing, even though it's still kind of ambiguous. Gotta believe in it, huh? I should mention that Odette went through through that entire process while she was continued to chow down on her food. I planned on going easy on the booze so I could stay rational, but I ended up downing my drink as well. I figure that being stuck with her is a bad thing, but on the other hand, it might be perfect for me. It's a 50-50, as I said. Strong ally early, bad enemy later. This woman is going to be useful. It's not often that you find someone who's got the brains to match the brawn. So I should be able to get rid of anyone in my way around her. I mean, yeah, but how are you going to get rid of her? Why would she cooperate with me, though? Maybe she figures that I have all the info I need on her. So she's doing this to make sure I don't hand anything off to other participants. Maybe as bait, maybe just the general idea of, you know, two people gathering information is better than one, or at least faster. We're in the same boat we were on the same boat when it sank, so naturally you'd think we both died the same way. And since I got her name and cause of death, she wants to keep me in track. So, hold up, right? So right, you were on the same boat because you were obviously getting smuggled out of Italy. Yet she knows your name, and you know her name. So I mean, obviously you didn't tell her directly. She found out anyway. But she doesn't know that, as I don't actually know her cause of death. She shouldn't know mine either. We might have died on the ship when it was attacked, but the actual causes weren't by drowning or from fire. It could have been gunshots, it could have been explosions. In reality, the only info we have on each other is our names. Odette's just making it seem like she knows more so she can have leverage over me. Basically, the whole cooperation thing is in the front, so she can get her hands on my info when we're the last two remaining. That is true. You want someone you know. Now that's the kind of chowing down I like to see. Bring us the best one you've got. Who's paying for this, by the way? Aren't we? I mean, technically we're not dead. Yeah, count me in. Most important challenge of my life is about to begin. I ain't about to fail. I certainly ain't gonna let her drink me under the table. Competitive. We ended up drinking till all the wine in the restaurant was gone. That's an accomplishment. Amazingly enough, she pops open another bottle back at the hotel and as a substitute of water. I'm not about to join her, so I go back to my room and sleep. The next morning, I notice that I have Rose's card in my own book too. Do we switch back to someone else? Later that day, Odette gets me to start tailing him. Needless to say, this is for the sake of getting information regarding his regret. Divine Selection takes place at 12 PM on Sunday, GST. I'm assuming Japanese Standard Time. So, we'll be in a good spot if we manage to get all three pieces of info on him before then. As for why I'm willing to tailing him on my own, that's down with a bit of an angle though. I would also imagine the brawn side of this, of Odette's design, would stick out like a sore thumb. Not the way you imagine though. She ain't suffering in bed. She's went off and screaming at everyone and everything. It's very sailor-like. Can't believe she's making me second guess her usefulness on the just one day later. It's usually how it goes. How you were a tall man. Odette, this isn't good. Not long after I start telling him, I rush back to the hotel and get Odette. Rose's company was located in one of those fancy high-class buildings in the middle of Beijing City, outside of them thanks to it being so crowded, but I managed to learn his plans. A few minutes later, after entering the building, he made his way back, acting as someone there was risen by at the front desk about his schedule, which they replied that he was leaving for a business trip. They were hesitant about revealing the destination at first, but I managed to get them to reveal that by staying in Taiwan. They'd be staying in Taiwan for 3 days while I was visiting their local branch. Turns out you can hop on the same flight as him if we call over to the airport. He's on his way to Taiwan. Go get moving. We're going after him. I knock on the door, fully expecting her to flip out on me. Much to my surprise when she struts out of the room, ready to go, luggage and all. As an aside, our phones and credit cards were perfectly intact despite our washing ashore. So, we didn't have any issue buying whatever gear we needed. That is certainly some kind of design. I just told the front desk that we're checking out. You what? Sorry to burst your bubble, but I was fully aware of his plans when we hashed things out last night. Well, that's just a waste of time then. Why'd you get me to tell him then? Ain't much of a corp if I'm doing all the ops. Know what I mean? No, because you're just wasting time. We could have planned ahead. I plan on calling the whole thing off if you couldn't get your hands on such basic information. So it was a test. Okay. Federico, you may be in more danger than you realize. She drops that bombshell on me like a casual greeting. The fact that she doesn't mention that what she'd do with me if I failed her little test proves how twisted she is. Why do I gotta get tested in the first place? You're a bit too sly for your own good. What was that? Nothing. I mean, I would honestly just tell her that. If anything, she'd take it as a compliment, right? We leave the hotel after I rush over and get my stuff. Having made it on time to catch the Thin Flyers Row, we make our way to our hotel in Taiwan after landing. It's the same hotel he's staying in, so we chose a room far away enough from him, and then discuss our next move. Well, I mean, how is he going to regret? Anyway. Wait, no, I'm not using number 7, because we have number 9's. Regret. And then we discuss our next move with some wine and cheese. Wine and cheese? Gotta hand it to you. I didn't think you'd try and find him on the... I didn't think you'd try and find him on the flight itself. Well, I couldn't find him on the flight's lobby since he had the nerve to fly in business class. Then again, it's probably best that he did, since that stomach of his would just annoy everyone in an economy. Glad I was able to upgrade to business class myself, though. Managed to tail him from the arrival lounge to his hotel because of that. Meanwhile, I was stranded in economy. You realize the other participants know your face, right? What would you have done if you had noticed? Well, that's not necessarily true. We didn't recognize the face until the game showed us. He didn't seem bothered. Probably doesn't expect other participants to make their way out of China to find him. I mean, she might have a point there. In fact, the way he's working and going about his daily life means that he doesn't actually believe the divine selection's happening. Unless that's what he wants us to think. True, most adults wouldn't believe that crap. The only reason I did is because we were both washed ashore together. She grins nihilistically before continuing. Surely, you'd have some questions about how you're still alive if you were aware that you died, though. It seems like enough to believe that the whole situation's for real. Well, here's the question, because, like, when Rinka died, she just... It's like she woke up sitting down at the diner, whereas apparently these two actually were aware of it immediately after the... Well, I say drowning, I guess. Pretty sure you're the only one with enough screws loose to reach that conclusion. More importantly, something fishy about how long he's staying here, wouldn't you say? I grabbed some squares of cheese and I posed the question to her. Not necessarily, because he doesn't have to be in Japan until the final day, right? Once I confirm that that she's reacted to it, I continue. The people at his work said he was gone for 2 nights and 3 days, but the front desk said he's only here for tonight. Okay, then that's interesting. I hope you made sure he won't find out about your snooping. Damn right I did. I started shouting at them about how he's being too... Wait, hold on. I started shouting at them about he's being too noisy and that they should fix things. Only for them to tell me the deal with it, since he's leaving in the morning. Okay. I guess that works still. That's odd. From what I gathered, he's visiting the Taiwan branch tomorrow and one of their factories in the day after. So he's going to be staying awake, maybe? I don't know. But maybe... Well, we're going to have to find out next time. Hopefully you've enjoyed, because this has definitely been interesting to learn more about Odette, I guess, through Federico's eyes. So yeah, hopefully you've had fun. Hopefully I can see you in the next one. With that, goodbye.